All right, everybody. So today we're going to be collecting a testimonial from one of our clients, Taylor. He's working with us right now in our credit restoration program. We're at the point now where we have switched from writing dispute letters to litigating. And so we just gotten a settlement from Equifax a few weeks ago, and that has been signed and completed. And now we're working on Experian. And so right now where we're at, and this is kind of be a little case update too, is the attorney is trying to say that we're suing because of inaccurate information, right? And so he keeps trying to push this because we referenced the accounts from the dispute letter. However, if you read our complaint, we are very clear that we are suing you because you failed to conduct an investigation, right? Meaning you failed to conduct the disputing process and you're trying to show a dispute you did like 8 or 9 months after the fact or something ridiculous, right? It was like in March of this year, and the letter was like in July of last year or something like that, right, Taylor? Something like that.
It was a
But
long time ago. Huge
yeah,
time lapse. Yeah.
yeah. So now that's where we're at the moment, and the attorney's trying to push for arbitration. And so right now I'm helping Taylor understand that this attorney is playing major games with us because weren't we on the phone with him together? Didn't we talk with him? I was on a Zoom call with him and he kept asking me, what items do you think are inaccurate? I think it was you or another client I had. I can't remember.
Well, actually, they wouldn't even get on the call with us. They pushed for a call, pushed it off, would never confirm. And then finally you set a meeting and they didn't even show up.
Yeah.
And then they don't even respond. I mean, weeks go by, there's no response. I mean,
Right.
it's
So that tells you that like the Equifax person was probably they probably told her we're not going to pay you to do anything else. So she's just like, let's settle. Right. And so Experian, they go through a lot of lawsuits. So what we're going to do is we're going to relook at the case, and if the judge has not ruled, have they motioned at all for arbitration?
I haven't gotten any update on that particular case at all in a couple weeks. So,
Okay, well, after we're gonna wait one more week because after 3 weeks is usually when deadlines for motions are up. So
yeah.
now we go into discovery, right? And this is the best part because I'm about to show you how you're gonna ask them for all this information in the discovery process, and they can't ask you for nothing because you've already provided everything, right? So you're gonna ask them for all this crap, and the attorney has to collect it all, and they're gonna want to settle with you after that because the experience is gonna be like, we're not paying you, Mr. Attorney, to do that. Um, so that's great. So we're gonna wait one more week. The longer you wait, it makes the other party look bad. So when you're the waiting on their response. So that being said, now that you've known that, now that you've been doing this a few months and you've been working with us, I would love to know your thoughts, your impressions, and your experience with doing credit repair in this way and what you've learned from it, especially with being the one that's on the case and just having that help behind you. I would love to hear your experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like really informative and kind of confirmed a lot of like inclinations and thoughts that I had regarding how credit works. I mean, it's just so convoluted and I mean, I don't I don't want to say like the wrong term, but it seems like it's unlawful in many ways.
It
Eh,
is.
yeah.
I believe you're right. Like, really, you have two sides of credit. You have
Mhm.
credit reporting, which is what we're dealing with, right? We're dealing right now, we're suing the credit reporting agencies simply
Yeah.
because we sent them a letter and they didn't do their dispute process.
Yeah.
So that in itself is illegal. But how many people do you think send letters and they don't get a response and they think they did something wrong? You're always getting gaslit 24/7,
Right.
thinking
That's
you're
right.
the one, the problem.
Yeah.
When in
That's exact
reality, they're breaking the law.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean, I'm a skeptical person, and I'm, like, in the if you tell me something's gotta be a certain way, I'm gonna fact check you and see if it's true. So that's ultimately what led me to you guys is, like, I was, like, going down this rabbit hole, like, "How does this actually work?" And then I mean, I remember I saw one of your videos, I'm like, "This seems like this is how it actually works," and everybody's being, like, like you said, gaslit into thinking they're the problem, they are worthless, they have no value, when it's like, that's actually the opposite of the truth, like, completely the opposite.
Yeah,
So,
we're the asset. They need our data.
yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody knows that. It's just I mean, that speaks to, like, systemic problems in the whole country or probably the world, but,
Right. Especially in
uh,
America though, because we created the system. Like the
yeah,
current system is ours. It's our creature. So
and
would you say that you would never have, would it be accurate to say that you probably never would have thought about doing a lawsuit, especially in federal court, had it not been for this program?
I wouldn't even have crossed my mind as something I could have possibly handled and done and executed without, like, countless lawyers and probably tens of thousands of dollars, you know what I mean?
Did it surprise you when I gave you a two-page complaint?
Yeah. Well, I honestly, like, from from the beginning of the process working with you guys, I I knew that you knew what you were talking about, and, like, even when other people were, like, telling me, "Oh, that's never gonna work. Oh, you don't understand the law." I'm like, "You guys don't understand the law. You understand the system of what you've been
Yeah,
told your whole life, but you don't nobody you guys never read anything." But I could tell you and your team knew way more than anybody was either willing to disclose or had knowledge of. So,
right.
yeah, when you gave me the complaint, I was like, "All right, like, this has to be correct." Like, I didn't really have any doubt, you know?
Yeah,
So,
and the court didn't give you no problem because they look and check if it's not the right font, if it's not literally if it's not
yeah,
Times New Roman 12-point font double spaced,
yeah,
they will say, "Nah, you're gonna have to do this and do that." So I've done, trust me, I've had multiple. I've been doing it so many years that I've had a ton of "you can't do this," the magistrate judge saying all this crazy nonsense. Like, yes, you're right. And so what I've decided is that the reason why nobody knows about the law is because nobody's willing to disclose what they know or admit that they don't know. Like, if you've ever been to a courthouse, there
mhm,
is zero literature on the law. The only thing in there are pamphlets on hiring attorneys, right?
yeah, mhm,
There is nothing. The law library is like an unknown building that you have to find. Like you can't even find it on Google. You got to go to the court and ask them, "Where's the law library?" It's that weird building that nobody goes into, right? Like, and
yeah,
that's where the real info's at. They don't put it on the internet. They scraped the internet. If you ask ChatGPT stuff, it'll hallucinate. There are literally attorneys who like the way that I use ChatGPT is I use it to format. I
mhm,
wrote your entire complaint in the box. I was
yeah,
like, here's his name, address, this. Here's where state he's in. Here's the court. Here's this. Here's the registered agent for this. Here's this, and listed it. And then it, right? And then it listed it all how I wanted it to. And then I went into Google Docs, 12-point font, Times New Roman, right? But normally attorneys will write that and that will take them like 4 or 5 hours. It took me
yeah,
15 minutes to write your complaint because I already had all your info on a little spreadsheet. And then I just tell it, I'm just looking, okay, here's his phone number. Okay, right? And then I'm just telling it, don't cite any freaking codes or laws or nothing, right? Don't do none of that except this one Fair
mm,
Credit Reporting Act and this and the rules and the federal rules of civil procedure. I want you to only use this. Don't use anything else. Right? And then So now it puts us in a position where Experian is just buying time by making up stuff. Oh, what's inaccurate? It's irrelevant. I had another call, which we're gonna get on with later, Madison, with another client who we actually had a video conference with the Experian attorney, and I think they're all like taught the same strategy. He kept asking me on the call, "What information do you believe to be inaccurate?" I said, politely, "Sir, I am not suing you guys for inaccurate information. I am suing you for failing to conduct an investigation, meaning we sent you a dispute and you didn't conduct the dispute." And then, like 5 minutes later, he asked me the same question: "What I do you think is inaccurate?" And I said, again, it is irrelevant what I believe to be inaccurate and not inaccurate because that's not what we're suing you for. We're suing you for not responding. You understand? And you wouldn't say yes, right? When you ask them if they understand, they don't understand you, right? So we may hopefully I would love to get that on recording one day. Maybe if we get on with Experian, I'll record it to show people what I mean because literally they're playing stupid. Like Taylor, I know you're not a law expert, but you know that they're making crap up to try to do something, buy time or you know what I'm saying? Like obviously they're not even addressing the complaint, which was you didn't respond to the letter.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like when a police officer is like pulled you over and they're trying to get like more information out of you to use against you to
Yeah.
get another rack up another charge or a ticket or whatever, just like get a little squeeze a little extra out of you. They're
Yep.
trained to manipulate, lie, squeeze information out, and then pervert the information in their favor or their client's favor. That's like all I've ever experienced with attorneys. And especially in this process, they never ever address the actual complaint or the root of the argument or the root of the lawsuit. They always like divert to something else
Right.
every
Even
time.
in their answers, they just give every affirmative defense. It's like a template.
Yeah. It's yeah, it's like
Remember
dealing
that?
with a bad computer
Was
program.
it you where I tried to strike the affirmative defenses? I don't know if it was you or another client. I always mix you and I have another client that were in the exact same situation. And so in that situation, I tried to strike all the affirmative defenses. And the judge denied it, but I thought it was completely irrelevant that they were giving affirmative defenses that literally we weren't even claiming, like it didn't even apply. Right?
Yeah.
Like saying it's like not the proper venue or whatever. I'm like, this is totally the proper venue. I'm like, how is this not? I'm like, this is a federal law, right?
Yeah.
You're in federal court. So now that you're seeing it firsthand, it makes the topic of credit a lot less complicated now, right? We're just hitting them with a claim. It's just a simple claim,
Yeah.
dude. You know?
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm not gonna say I understand everything about credit, but I certainly understand like more about our rights and like what we should expect when interacting with credit reporting agencies and credit companies in general. And like what I could say is they definitely don't want you to know anything, and they definitely don't like when you know something that you're not supposed to know. And why is that? It's because 'cause they're taking advantage of you in ways you can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's yeah, like how much money you think they're making off your data?
Oh, yeah, I mean, you can't I couldn't even begin to, like, fathom that number, but it's literally infinite money. That's what it is, it's an infinite money scheme.
Yep. They're just
That's what
printing more of it, and the banks are doing
yeah,
most of it, the credit creation people.
yeah,
So hopefully now, once we have everything the way we want it to with your credit, then we can create some credit with it also. Do some credit creation. So
yeah.
we appreciate it, Taylor. Before we go, if you were to say recommend us to anybody, what would what would you tell them? How would you describe working with us?
I would say, you know, trust the process, definitely, be clear with what you want to accomplish, and just be really patient as it works, and don't definitely don't give up and stop in the middle of the process because it literally does work, and the results are undeniable. They actually happen. I don't know of any other I have not heard of any other story like mine where it actually worked, but this I have the paperwork, we have the lawsuits, like, it 100% works. No doubt.
And what are your intentions after we get your credit where we want it?
Maintain and build it properly. That's, like, learn more about it, you know what I
Right.
mean?
You think
Learn
you're
how to
gonna
use
like
it.
start a business with like start a business and maybe get some funding, or do you have any intentions of like using your credit once we get it where we want it?
Yeah, I can say already, like, my credit has improved in this process to the point where I do have some ability to access credit, and I've already started, creating a business. So and that's n I mean, we're not even done, you know what I
Right.
mean? So
Fantastic.
it
Great.
works.
Well, I look forward to working with you on those ventures also, Taylor, if you would oblige me, because those things are fun. It's a lot
Yeah,
more fun than dealing with attorneys, so I'll say that. So,
yeah. Well, thank you, yeah.
and thank you, Taylor, for being an awesome client. For all y'all watching this, we also get to pick our clients. And so the best part about this job is that there's good people doing the work, but then more importantly, there's the good clients who are willing to take a calculated risk to actually get ahead. But being smart as someone who can do risk assessment, Taylor definitely sat back and watched us a while before he came to work with us. And then he's been working with us quite a bit because we have been adapting to all of the law changes and all of the different tactics that the credit reporting agencies and the data furnishers and the banks use to try to stop people from doing what we're doing right now. So, want a huge thanks, Taylor, for taking the time out of your day to share your experience with us, and look forward to working with you in the future, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm happy to do it.